everybody. Welcome back
to another episode. We're actually here with another episode the next week.
Yes, we're here with Cooper. She's actually, there's a seat, I'm sitting in this seat, Emmy's sitting in that seat, and Cooper's sitting in that seat. Speak. Good girl.
Good girl.
Speak. Oh. I just realised last week I didn't speak about my time in Marbella.
Oh,
I was in Marbella.
You were away for a while with your talent as well.
Yeah, so me and two of the girls I managed and our other friend, and we were there for about 5 days. We had fun, plenty of nice dinners, plenty of amazing sushi. If you are in Marbella, go to Breathe. It's like the most common place that you can go, but
like... You spent like 70 quid on sushi?
No, that was Neo Pool Club. Okay. I think that's how you say it, Neo. The only time I saw anyone else Scottish the whole time was walking out of Neo, and this guy turns to us and was like, "Any of you's got a snout?" And I was like, "Where are you from?" He was like, "Oh, I'm from like Scotland, whatever." And he was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, like, you know, I'm from here." And he was like, "Oh, I'm from here." I can't remember what it was. Turns out one of their friends lives in London, and they were getting on the same flight as the girls that day, the next day.
Oh, that's funny.
I know, and I still don't know who these people were.
Small world.
I know, and I was like, oh, I meant to ask them their names, being like, "Who are you?" But I don't know.
I'm going to Marbella in September.
So you are. Where are you staying again?
No idea.
You don't know?
No idea.
I would say, like, if I was gonna go again, I'd probably go out to more, it's called like Porto Romano or something. I think that's where like Nobu is. That's like...
I mean, me and Cami will not be going to all
these
beach clubs, right? And doing all these.
No, but that isn't beach clubs as much. That's more like nice restaurants, so...
Yeah, but Cami and Nobu, that will never happen.
What is it with boyfriends and them not liking fancy foods? My ex-boyfriend did not like fancy foods.
Well, to
like
be fair,
sushi and
Cami
stuff.
doesn't like sushi.
Right.
He doesn't like fish.
Right.
But also, like, he's celiac.
Oh, yeah.
So he hasn't been able to eat, like, loads of different types of food because his options are very limiting.
Yeah, that's true.
So he doesn't like raw fish, and it's always expensive, and it never fills him up. But he does love maki and ramen. And when we do get, like, California rolls or dragon rolls or, you know, different types. And he will eat that. He'll eat crab and he'll eat some fish. But
yeah,
most of the time, like, raw fish and sashimi and umi and all that, no.
Oh, no, see, I don't really like stuff like that either. Like, when the whole time I was away, I got tempura shrimp or tempura prawn.
He can't eat that because it's battered.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's, like, the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's why he loves maki and ramen, because you get, like, the chicken.
Yeah.
He can't have the teriyaki because the teriyaki sauce has wheat in it. But the chicken on its own without the sauce,
so
he can have that.
So can he have the katsu roll? Because that's... Oh, no, I don't know. That's batter. That's not batter. That's actually breaded...
Yeah, he can't have anything breaded. So you see, like, options are limited, and then when you have limited options, the rest of the stuff on the menu is actually quite shit.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, especially the food. The food was great. I was saying this to someone earlier today, like, I feel like I'm such the, like, mum. Like, there was a couple of nights that I slept alone in the apartment.
Yeah. You were also, like, unwell.
Oh, guys, I was so ill. So... the day I flew, the Thursday, I woke up and I was like, oh no, like I had a flu basically. But you know when you have the flu and you actually feel dizzy, like I didn't really feel like that. It was more like blocked up cough. I had an awful cough, had to go to the pharmacy in Marbella and get like these crazy sachet things and like a spray to spray up my nose, like, and I came home and I had, what was it he said, I had bronchitis.
Yeah.
Although I didn't really last that long though.
I think that's what
Probably.
I think whatever, because I saw you just before you went, and I think I got whatever you got.
Probably.
And then I gave it to Cami, and Cami got over it, but I still am sick.
Well, me and Charlotte both had seen each other on the Tuesday, and I flew on the Thursday, and we were both ill.
I think whatever it was contagious.
Oh, yeah.
So you got me sick, and I'm still sick. But I'm at the end of it.
Yeah. No, it was not great.
It's been quite a busy year, because every time we've recorded episodes, it's like, you're away here, you're away there, I am away skiing, and you're in Italy.
Well, May, I think, was probably one of my favourite months.
Really?
Well, I had all of my friends' birthdays, basically. I had like 4 birthdays.
There's a bank holiday every week.
Yes. That was why it was so good, because there were so many bank holidays.
No, I hated it, because like business-wise, it was horrible.
Oh, it was hard to get things sorted, 100%.
Yeah, 'cause everyone's just off.
Saying that, May was still quite a good month, like, financially.
It was okay.
Like, coming into June. But
no, everything got pushed into June, so June's been a really good month.
That's so
June's
true.
been a
That's
really
why,
great month. Yeah.
But no, May I had such a nice time. Like, I just saw so many people. I feel like I've really come out of my shell.
You have. You're gaining your confidence back.
She's in her single era. So yeah, no, I really have been. Not everything in life's great, but you know, we're lucky girls. Remember we were talking about that at the start of this year.
We are. I am such a lucky girl. You know, I said that I was gonna win the lottery on Saturday.
And you didn't?
You know what? I did.
Oh.
But I bought three tickets and I won 3 lucky dips. So I matched
Alright.
2 numbers on each ticket.
Oh, right.
So technically I did win.
Yeah.
I didn't win the jackpot. But
Yeah.
my manifestation
Well, guys.
So next time I'm going to win.
See, when I entered I used to enter a lottery. That sounded really weird. Lottery. Used to enter the lottery quite a lot. Like, I want to say like 2020, 2021. And I had the app.
That's
And
what I do it on.
Yeah, and I did it on the app. I don't anymore because my card isn't on it and I'm not putting it back on. So, and I used to put it on quite a lot, and one time I woke up and it was like, you've won. And I was like, it was like Euro Millions, and I was like, I have won
Like
the Euro Millions.
168 million pounds.
And I remember, like, I used to tell people what I was going to buy. I'd look for houses before I'd won it and be like, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this house when I win the
That's
lottery.
so normal though. Like me and Cammy do that all the time. We go, yeah, so if we win 100,000, I'm gonna give like 5,000 to each of my siblings, and I'm gonna put like a deposit down for a house here, I'm gonna invest in here. And Cam's like, yeah, if I win like X amount, we're talking about like not to get off track, but we were saying how much would you want to win to change your life, but like the minimum. I said I just want £5,000.
10. No, because I want a house deposit.
Yeah, so like,
Okay, if we're going that far, I
I'm
want like
like
80 grand.
if I could win the lottery today and like have some weight taken off and all that, I'd love to win £5,000 just to like pay off some debts, like have a little bit in savings, have a nice holiday, all that. Like that would be a great amount. But like to actually change my life,
you'd want more than 5k you can pay off your car.
but it's like anywhere from 50k to 100k would be great. But the
Yes.
Set for Life lottery, I feel like that would be something really good to get into playing.
Is that the one that's like, because I know someone that won the one where you got like 10 grand
A month.
for like a couple, I think it was a year or two, but I know someone that won that. And trust me when it says it changed their life. Not someone my age, but yeah. Not my family or
That's
anything.
what I would want to win. Like, I remember when it first came around, I was working in Sainsbury's, so I was buying a lot of tickets for it, like, on shift, because I was like, barely anyone had heard of it, and I'm like, I'm going to be one of very few people entering.
No, guys, like, and I can't explain, like, I can't say too much, not my thing to share, but see, when I say this changed this person's life, like, thank God.
Because it's like, that's a salary, and I think you can win it for 1 year, or 10 years, or 30 years, like, there's different levels, but every time I play it, it's like, the winner for the jackpot who got, like, all 5 numbers, whatever, 0. Like, no one's picking the right numbers, and it just, I'm like, oh my God, like, I need to be getting in to play this one.
I can't remember. I think that I think it was a scratch card, this one, though, that they'd won.
Really?
I think so. I can't remember.
Because there were scratch card versions of it, I'm pretty sure. But I'm like, 10 grand, even for just 1 year, to take time off and run your business and stuff, because there's ones that you can do it for like 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a salary for retirement. You know, like, that's more than anyone else needs. That's a 6-figure, tax-free.
Yeah, that's mad. Is it tax-free?
Yeah, the lottery's tax in America. It's 50% tax. Oh. So if you go on a game show like Are You the One or Love Island, and you win 100 grand, you actually only get like 50,000 of it because the rest is taxed. Whereas here it's tax free.
Right.
So that's the number. Like, you don't have to pay tax on it.
Got you. That's
but I'm
nuts.
like, imagine like you could get a mortgage with that, a car, like house. Live your life, follow your dreams and ambitions. I mean, I'm doing it now anyways. Like, I don't have a job that I'd quit tomorrow and be like, I'm going to go and start this business. I am doing it right now.
Yeah.
But it would make things, like, so much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Less stressful, yeah.
Less stressful, savings, cost of living crisis. Anyways, sorry, what were you talking about? Lottery?
I can't remember. But what I was going to say was...
You won the Euros.
Oh, I won the Euro. I won the Euro Millions, guys. No, I won like I opened my emails. It said you've won. I went into the app. I'd won like £11.
Oh, that's still pretty good. I don't think I've
I
ever
bought
won
my
more than like
Chinese for
£4.
that night, so.
Quite cheap for Chinese. Chinese is
Oh,
expensive.
I know Chinese usually. If I get everything I want, it's like £18.
That's
Noodles,
still not bad.
I know, but like noodles, chicken and black bean sauce, salt.
I've
chili
never
chips.
tried that.
It's like
I don't think I'd like it.
black bean sauce is it tastes like soy sauce basically, but like not as like. It's a nicer taste than soy sauce. It's nice. I like it a lot. Like, and I'm trying not to eat curries, so like, it's quite nice in that sense. Oh, I was gonna say, I do feel like I'm very grateful. I'm feeling like a lucky girl,
Yeah.
even if things aren't completely great, but
I'm feeling like a lucky girl. I'm gaslighting myself into feeling like a lucky girl.
you're gassing yourself into thinking you're
I'm
a lucky
gassing
girl.
myself.
Well,
Gaslighting.
you are a lucky girl. You live in this nice flat with your boyfriend of almost 5 years, with your lovely little dog.
She's asleep on my lap right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm on a panel and I'm actually speaking with Julia.
All
So
right.
that'll be fun, but I think I will have to leave a bit early.
Right.
But it's networking for other people in social media and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about the business and the podcast and all of that. So that's something we said we wanted to get into this year, is like do panels and events and stuff.
We were literally sitting in April planning an event for June. June is almost over.
Well, last week we were planning a PR thing for July. Yeah. We're like, we could do July.
Oh, jeez.
No, we cannot do July. I feel like quite a lot has happened this last week in terms of like online stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like a few different influencers or social media people have been getting cancelled. I don't know if that's the term. Yeah, that.
It is the
I would
term.
say cancelled. Just like things have come out of things that they've said and done. Some boys, some girls, completely different situations. But like people that I'm following or know of are getting absolutely torn to shreds on socials for their own actions, things they've said and done.
Well, the one thing about me, I really hate cancel culture
Yeah, but I also think that there's a difference between cancel culture
and
and
being
like
held
being held accountable.
accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone can do or say something terrible and then be held accountable for it and just have a police investigation open up or
Yeah.
newspaper articles written about them or, you know, consequences for what they've said and done, like being called out on it versus
Yeah.
like people spamming their families, social medias, sending death threats, doxing their address and stuff.
Yeah.
That's like cancel culture.
Yeah.
I'd say like doxing and harassment. But I think being called out and people making content about it or posting about it or sharing about it,
Yeah.
like you shouldn't have done it in the first place.
No, this is the thing, like, they definitely shouldn't have done it in the first place. What, like, bothers me... Oh, it's so difficult, because people need to speak out about things, like they do if they feel like they've been treated a certain way. There's things that I have myself sat on, nothing to do with these people. Like, there's things that I've sat on that I wish I could have, like, spoke about, and do you know what I mean?
But you could have. You just didn't want to. Like,
Yeah.
not everything bad somebody does, like, you have to speak out on or, like, cancel them or be like, oh,
I
like, people
know.
grow and learn and make mistakes and stuff. But I think there's things like physically attacking, harassment, racism, pedophilia, like grooming,
Yeah.
assault. Those type of things do need to be called out.
Oh, yeah.
I think if someone's a bit mean or if someone's done shady business practices or things like that, like, that's a different situation.
Yeah.
Like, these things are past the point of, like, that
yeah.
needs to be called out.
Yeah. I think, like, for me, it's like, even when it comes to, like, I'm always, like, rehabilitation over, what is the word I'm trying to use here? Over being punished. Like, I feel like that with, like, a lot of crime.
Yeah,
But it's, I know what you mean. I'm
It's-
the kind of person that's like, but I feel bad for them though.
I know,
That's awful.
but it's like they did commit double homicide. Like, yeah, there's so much research and stuff out there to say that rehabilitation actually does change people and helps them a lot more than just like throwing them in a prison cell and locking away the key, you know. Like, yeah, I agree with that statement, but at the same time they need to have consequences for their actions, and if they didn't do it in the first place, like, we're at an age where everyone's an adult.
I know.
Everyone knows better and does better. If you're going around saying racial slurs at the age of 24, or you're going out of your way to date fans who are under the age of 18 and you're 25, like, come on, like, you know better. Like, no, I don't feel sorry for you.
No,
but it doesn't mean that you don't deserve forgiveness in the future. Or
I think what I think is, like, the internet. I agree with everything you said, by the way. I'm not
justifying anyone's
I'm
actions.
not justifying anyone's actions, but I just think, like, it must be, like, obviously the things that they have done have been awful, but it must be such a heavy weight. Like, there's been other people in the public eye, and, like, to have that extent of people talking about you, or, like, online, like, creating, I don't know, even, like, memes, like, I don't know, like, but that's just because I when I put myself in their shoes and I'm like, oh my god, that's awful, but then I also wouldn't have done the things that they've done.
That's something you have to remember. But it's also, like, these people signed up for that. Like, when you decide to be on the internet and you want a platform and you want 10,000, 100,000 followers, you're making content for a large audience. You're putting yourself out there. You know that the public's perception of you and people's opinions are gonna come. So if you do something that's horrible, you're gonna get backlash and called out on a larger scale than, like, the average Joe who doesn't have social media. But it doesn't mean that, like, they don't deserve that, because they do. They don't. Nobody deserves to have their family harassed. Death threats, doxing, like, the illegal stuff. But they do just, like, if their followers call them out or post content about it or memes on it, that comes with the territory.
I know, I think a lot of people are like, oh, they didn't sign up for that, and you're like, but they did. And it does come with the responsibility that people maybe think, why should I have this responsibility? Like, all I want to do was create content that's put on the internet. Like, do you remember, like, back in the day where, like, all the American YouTubers were caught out for, like, smoking and vaping and, like, smoking weed. Like,
and, like, there was, like, swearing. And it was, like, also, like, previously, like, with the H2O Just Add Water Mermaids cast, photos of them, like, going like this, like, putting their fingers up and, like, drinking, like, Disney stars and all that, like, smoke. There's that whole thing of, like, you're working and showing you're doing stuff for a younger audience. You should be a role model for them. But so many people in the public eye, and creators and actors and actresses and everything, they like the art, they like sharing it with the platform, and that doesn't mean that they're going, I'm going to be a role model for your child.
Because so many of these people are not cut out to be role models.
They're humans. Everyone makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But you can't help if someone decides to idolize you or put you up on that pedestal. Like, if you're someone's inspiration because you've got a platform large enough where someone can put you in that position, if that makes sense. So it's like, you shouldn't be going out there and making content being like, do this terrible thing and, like, blah blah blah. They're not doing that. But I don't know, I know what you're saying. Like, it's
I think about people's feelings, but there's obviously more people.
See, I think
more people's feelings who have actually been damaged than
that
one
I don't think about that poor creator who's getting called out. Like, have you seen all the stuff about Miranda Sings right now?
Yes.
That's another one. Like, this is, like, the third person in my head that I'm thinking about who's been cancelled this last, like, week and a bit.
I went to one of her shows when I was 12.
To be fair, you're that target demographic.
I went to this in 2013. No, 14. It would have been 2014. But see, when you think back, like, so many of the things that creators online did back then, like, you're talking like Shane Dawson and stuff as well, like, now would never be seen as acceptable. But they did all of these things, like, in the name of a character rather than it being them, which I think made it more socially acceptable at the time.
Yeah, because it's not saying, oh, this is who I am and what I believe in. This is just like a persona or a made up person. Which, like, looking back, it's like, that's crossing line. But back in those times, it was a lot more normalized. The type of comedy out there was different. I'm not justifying any of this.
No,
but like
but I get you.
it was
Like Little Britain was like acceptable to be on TV.
Yeah. God, that was the time.
I never watched that. I was too young.
My dad used to watch it. He had the box sets.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I literally like watching back some of the stuff. I mean, to be fair, some of the jokes and some of the stuff is quite funny, like because of how stupid it is, not the racial and sexist and all that stuff. Like the blackface and that, I never thought that was like
no, so bizarre that was allowed on TV.
Yeah, but some of the thing I'm like, this is the most stupidest show and the stupidest skit ever, but it's funny.
Is that the show that it was like Computer Says No?
Yes.
That's the only joke I remember because it was probably the only one that I was allowed to know.
Yeah. Did you see speaking of, sorry, side note, I'm just rambling. Did you see the video that went around of Nikki DiMartino, Nikki and Gabby?
Yeah.
Where she was in her car and she was talking about how she had learnt the term house poor and that described her, and how she decided to buy a new house during lockdown or COVID when mortgage prices were like at an all-time high, and at the time she could afford that, and she wasn't making Nikki and Gabby content, she was making money on her own and all that. I don't actually know how much it was. And now she's saying like she makes enough money every month to pay her mortgage and her bills and live, but no money for savings. And she was like sitting in her car, her expensive luxury car, going, I can't remember the last time I ever did a shopping spree. Like, wasn't a paid sponsored YouTube video by a brand. Like, I can't go to the shops and do a shopping spree because I don't have enough money because I'm house poor. All my money gets spent on this house that I bought during lockdown when prices were at an all-time high. And everyone was like, reality check. Like,
sell the house, no?
Yeah, but
size.
It's also like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're in a 4-bedroom house, like... But, like, going off about how she doesn't have any money and, like, she can't go do a shopping spree.
But, like, yeah, that's everyone's reality.
That's everyone's reality, but she's still doing it from the comfort of her luxury designer car in her mansion. And she still does do shopping sprees every month. They're just... She was literally saying that she just went away to Coachella with Shein or something like that. And, yeah... All of their clothes that she wore for the festival that were gifted by the brand. Ugh. Like, she couldn't pay for anything because she didn't have enough money to pay for clothing. And, like, the clothing she was wearing in her video was, like, all sponsored. She's like, everything I get is for free. And complaining the fact that she has to get stuff for free and can't buy stuff. And it's just, like... It's so tone deaf. And it's, like...
Yeah.
People are sitting there watching... these people in their houses.
Yeah, I know.
Being like, wow, I love that life. And then the influencer's sitting there going, my life sucks.
See, that luxury influencer...
Lydia Millen.
Yeah, what was it that she said?
The heating in her house went out, so she had to go and stay at the...
It was a really fancy
the Ritz
hotel.
Or something.
It was a really fancy hotel in London, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes the call is coming from inside the house, like, seriously... Don't get me wrong, I think we all say things, and I think...
The Savoy, that's
what it was.
It was like a bougie London hotel, because her heating went out, and it was... What time of year was it?
It was in winter, I remember.
Yeah, but it was November.
Right.
So... God. People are like, I haven't been able to have the heating on in my house because I can't actually afford it.
But also, like, would it not cost the same to, like...
Get someone to fix it?
Yeah, like, get a fast, like, you could say, like, right, I will pay you this much to come in and fix this, rather than going to an expensive hotel.
Unless maybe she got fucking gifted.
Oh, fucking probably.
But, like, you could also just go and buy some temporary heaters.
Well, that's what I thought, and plug them in.
Space heaters, like... Yeah, I do think that a lot of, like, what you see online is glamorized, and you're like, this is amazing. But I do think it is crazy how many of those influencers actually complain or still aren't, like, satisfied with the life that they have that other people are dreaming about. Yeah. Like, I think that's why it's so important not to idolize certain people or certain things. Like, take everything you see on socials with a pinch of salt.
You don't know them. You don't know what their personality is actually like in person. Don't meet your idols, as they say. You've probably met YouTubers and you've been like, you're rude, and I really thought you were going to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one Love Islander in particular that everyone knows that I thought would be nice and was an absolute horrible, nasty lady. It's always the ones you least expect, though. But, like, I've not really had anyone that I've idolized or Like, I never really loved a lot of big YouTubers. Like, I used to follow and watch Zoella and stuff like that because I loved long form vlogs.
Yeah.
But I never was it like a fangirl of any of them. My favourite YouTuber growing up was My Life as Ava.
Loved her.
I loved My Life as Ava, and she's like come back to making videos again, and I loved it. But I've never met her. But she was like probably the only YouTuber that I idolized, but it was in like an aspirational way.
Yeah.
Of like, I watched one of her room tours and she just hit 30,000 subscribers. God. And it was a room tour of her. She was still living at home, I think, and then like going to university. But I remember watching a video and being like, I can do that. I can make a video like that. Like, I'm going to. I did, and it got 1 million views.
Yeah.
And then it started my YouTube thing. So, like, I idolized her in a way of, like, the camera she used and the lens and, like, the content she was making. Like, it was what I aspired to do and be. And then, obviously, her content developed and I stopped watching. And she's now back to doing, like, vlogs and stuff. But other than that, I can't think of a YouTuber or a influencer or a celebrity even that I ever... Like, my friends had Hannah Montana posters on the wall and McFly posters and, like, everyone was obsessed with, like, something, but I never really was like that.
I obsessed with growing up?
Yeah, who were you obsessed with growing up?
I loved Jessie J when I was in not high school. Oh my god,
That
not
is
high
so
school.
random.
I loved Jessie J in, like, primary school for some reason. We had the same haircut, to be fair. I had hair like that with a fringe.
No way, I need to see photos of that.
Yeah, I did. With like hair this dark, like full.
Yeah, I can imagine the cut.
But I'm trying to think, like, who was I actually? I don't.
Well,
really
you said
know.
you went and saw Miranda Sings.
Yeah,
show.
that was kind of a short-lived, like, interest though.
I was never a part of any fandoms. Sophie was deep in, like, 5 Seconds of Summer, One Direction.
Really? See,
fandoms.
I was never a Justin Bieber girl. I was never a One Direction girl. I've always loved Taylor Swift. I'd say there was a time where I wasn't really as, like, bothered. I was a big Kanye fan at one point, which is gone.
Yeah, my music taste and my interests were always so diverse in the fact of, like, while I was listening to Lana Del Rey, I'd also be listening to, like, Lorde, and also be listening to, I'm trying to think of, like, Tumblr Times, the Arctic Monkeys, and, like, I'd be interested in 5 different people at a time, so I never had, like, one hyper fixation.
No, neither, really. I don't really know.
I loved Britney Spears when I was, like, 5.
Really, I did love, like, I was obsessed with Hannah Montana. Like, see, when Hannah Montana the movie came out, that was, like, peak. Like, I was obsessed with her at that point. But I was, like, what, 7?
Yeah.
Probably younger.
It was, like, influencer-wise.
Influencer-wise,
the only person that I remember meeting that I was like, oh, you're really not that nice, was Ricky Dillon.
You've met Ricky Dillon?
Yeah, with Kami.
Crazy.
He was really, really rude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was at VidCon, and the thing is, I was just with Joe Tasker, and he was with Louise Sprinkle of Glitter and Joe Sugg, because
I was obsessed with that group, yeah.
Yeah, so I was, like, standing there, like...
What year was this?
When I went to LA...
2016?
No, it was 2016.
Yeah.
I can get do you want the receipts?
Yeah. No, I've seen it. I've seen your old YouTube videos.
I know, I'm, like, it was when I was friends with Kami.
That is genuinely so funny to me. We have this discussion all the time, but guys, like, I was watching these videos of these YouTubers and Amy was, like, meeting them. Like, the American YouTubers. You've met Tana.
Yeah.
This girl.
That was the
met
year
Tana.
I went with Byron and Haz, because Amari followed Byron. So Amari came up to Byron, or Byron went up to him whenever when we were leaving.
They're
and
still
with him
friends.
was Tana and Bellathorn. And that was the day
Are you hearing this, guys?
That was the day that TanaCon got shut down and started.
That was 2016.
No, that was 2018. Because Haz and Byron didn't buy tickets for VidCon. They bought tickets to TanaCon, and I bought tickets for VidCon. And it was at the same place.
Right, yeah.
Because Tana was told that she couldn't go to VidCon because she was too problematic.
She's so
funny. She made her own convention at the same week, the same place in Anaheim, just, like, a couple doors down. In a different area.
And that was a nightmare, wasn't it?
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I met Ricky Dillon at VidCon, and then I met him he was at Summer in the City VIP party, like, 2 months later.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting him and thinking he was, like, really rude. And then those 2 months later, when everyone else met him everyone else said he was also really, really rude.
Really? So
Like, he wouldn't talk to you or look at you unless he knew who you were. But the thing is, where we met him was at these VIP invite-only influencer parties. Like, it wasn't like... Because if he was meeting fans or something, like, he'd be nice. But because he didn't know who you were below him.
If anybody wants to sue, I take no part. I'm joking. I was obsessed with JC Kalen. That was his name?
Yeah.
Shay Carl. That was his name. I used to watch them quite a lot. I remember they used to do Christmas Day vlogs.
I never watched them.
And it was uploaded like on Christmas Day. It was nuts.
Do you know who I used to watch?
Who?
Prank versus Prank.
Oh, did they not split up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch them. I used to watch... I didn't really watch many people really... Like, I used to be obsessed with the Fine Brothers React.
All right, yeah.
Kids React, Teens React,
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
And then BuzzFeed. Every single
really
BuzzFeed video that came out, every person.
We're talking about how Instagram and like social media isn't real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of couples as well that like they have a perfect relationship online.
I think it's hard if you are a couple blogger,
Like
like
a social media couple.
yeah, similar to like Family Channel stuff, because everything you do is like monetized.
You don't know if someone's doing something because they actually want to do it or if it's like for views.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's like Sam and Monica are a couple. They have millions of followers, literally millions. Their whole thing is Sam and Monica. It's a joint channel,
Right.
but everything they post is them. Like,
Right.
it's not... I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're one couple that I know whatever they're posting is
legit.
real.
Yeah, it's what's happening.
Because I know them.
Yeah.
And they are exactly the same on camera as they are off.
Yeah.
But like other couples who you can tell just sort of... It's almost like certain couples get together just for the clout of each other, like the hype, and then the whole relationship just becomes making content together and then they split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I don't think I could do that.
I think like you don't post an awful lot about your relationship. You mention it here and there, but like when I end up in a relationship, I honestly reckon I'll do a Sophia and Shinsia.
And just not post.
The man with no face.
No, see, like, Cami and I are similar to us. We're together all the time, but when do we ever take photos together?
You don't
Never.
unless you're at an event together or something.
Yeah, so when I do get a photo with him or something, I'll post it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
It's
cute.
nice, yeah.
But he doesn't care about socials. He would rather be behind taking my photos. He's at every PR thing I get. If I'm not taking you, I'm taking him. And he's always on my stories. Like, I'm always posting videos of him in my stories or talking about him. He's just not in my content.
Yeah.
But also, one of the most embarrassing things I think as like a creator or someone who makes content is other people watching your content or watching you film content. Like, I cannot... do you know on TikTok the Hamptons private chef? She's called like Wishbone Kitchen or something like that. She does videos of, she's based in New York, and every summer everyone's like, summer is healing, because she goes back to the Hamptons to like stays out there all summer to cook for her millionaire private client.
Right.
So she's gone back to the Hamptons, whatever, and I was on TikTok and something came up and she was like her trying to get this shot of food, like this perfect video shot, and her boyfriend walks in and she's like, why is this the most embarrassing thing ever? I'm like, yes it is. Like, I hate filming content when Cammy's in the house. Really? I hate vlogging around him because he doesn't do that. If it was you, I don't care. I just sit and talk to myself and do that because you do it, I do it, like, you know. But for someone that doesn't do it, I'm like, he played one of my YouTube videos in front of me the other day.
And you're like...
And I'm like, I love the content I make and put out, and I'm proud of it, but don't watch it around me. It's like cringe, secondhand cringe, like, oh my god, please don't, like...
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like back in the days before I actually started recording myself speaking that, so I'm so used to hearing my own voice, but back then I'd be like, oh my god, do I actually sound like that? Is that what you know, that type of thing? I'm like, oh no, get it off.
I don't know why, but when it comes to like, but even like, I don't post my family. I don't have siblings, but I don't really post my family. And I don't think I would post if I was in a relationship. I mean, I didn't really before when I was in a relationship. I just wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I would want people to know I was in a relationship. But I wouldn't want them to know anything about it.
It's private, not secret.
Yeah, exactly. Well, What do you think we should talk about in the next episode, Emmy? I don't know. If you guys have any thing in particular that you want us to discuss, let us know. Because this was very much a chatty, rambly
Yeah, this was
episode.
just a let's chat shit and
Yeah.
talk about socials. Yeah.
I'm honestly knackered, I can't lie.
We're gonna go take a nap now.
Anyway, okay. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Speak to you guys soon. Bye.